We're already. Oh my god, it's so hot, guys. Okay, so hi, good evening, everyone. We're live tonight again for the second discussion, and we are still on for the She Rules Retail webinar. This is a special webinar organized by Zilingo, Filipino home-based moms, and ShopStitch.co. This is for our moms out there, and this is really for you, for all the MSMEs and the mompreneurs out there. We're actually live on 6 channels, so please say hi on the comment section below. Tell us where you're watching this live stream from, and we're actually broadcasting this to FHMOMS YouTube channel, the Facebook page, the Facebook group, and the FHMOMS Online University Alumni Group, plus MK Bertulfo's personal page. So please invite your mommies after your dinner, or maybe you're having dinner. Please spend an hour with us. So we look forward to sharing with you some insights. And of course, our speaker is very much excited as well to share his insights about financial services for MSMEs. So without further ado, let me introduce Mr. Arnab Bhattacharya, our speaker for tonight. He brings with him over 20 years of financial services experience across Asia. He joined Zilingo from Neogin Fintech Limited, whereas as a founding member, he was responsible for the overall design of the organization, its strategy, as well as leading the initial capital raise of $40 million. He started his career within India with HSBC, and then spent 9 years with Citibank, first in transaction banking and then in corporate investment banking. In his last role with Citibank, he was responsible for the global banking business for South India, and then moved to Singapore, where he spent a year working with Khazanah and Mubadala. He then moved to Hong Kong to build ANZ's commercial banking business across the Asia Pacific, where he was instrumental in turning around and making them profitable businesses over a 4-year period, all while managing a $3 billion balance sheet across 7 countries. He's passionate about the use of data and technology to streamline the delivery of financial services, and drove his transition from financial services to fintech. He believes that Zilingo is uniquely positioned to deliver financial support to its customers in the fashion supply chain. He's looking forward to building a world-class fintech platform to enable Zilingo to fulfill its commitment, streamline and digitize the fashion supply chain. Isn't that interesting? So please welcome our speaker for tonight, all the way from India, Mr. Arnab Bhattacharya, Head of Financial Services for Zilingo. Mr. Arnab, hi, good evening. So I turn over the stage to you. Please put your mic on mute.
Pleasure to meet everyone. This is the first time I'm doing this,
All
so
right.
hopefully.
Thank you.
Thanks for the stage. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. And what I'll be doing is that I'll be running through a short presentation and then doing a video, showing a brief video of a product that we have. And then happy to take on as many questions. Please feel free to post your comments and chats, and we can try and answer as many questions over the next 1 hour. So I'm going to start sharing my screen shortly. So just give me a second. While I Okay, thanks for this. So I hope everybody can see the presentation that I've put on. It reads financial services and Zilingo at the bottom. The whole idea of Zilingo providing financial services is to help customers try and get access to credit as they try and build their businesses or as they try and do business through the Zilingo platform. So, what does it all mean? What does it actually mean? So, fintech and data analytics. The key thing that is there is that, uh, very simply put, as customers try and transact on the Zilingo trade platform, and you would have heard from Sheila earlier today in terms of how you can use the Zilingo platform for sourcing. The question is that when you come onto the platform, you may not, you may have the right product to choose from, but often it becomes very difficult to actually uh, get the right financing for it, or you can only buy a small amount and not exactly what the business needs. So what we are trying to do is to solve for a problem is that ensure that you get capital uh, when a business needs it. Because one of the key problems that most businesses have across the world and in Asia is that you do get access to capital, but often it's at a very high cost. Often it is not at the right time. And often it requires documents that the business can't really provide given at the stage of the business that they are in. So our entire simple principle is that start engaging through our platform. You start building some level of history, and then we ensure that all our suppliers and buyers on our platform have access to financing at competitive interest rates and hopefully with minimal document requirements because they've been transacting on the platform. Um, the key problem statement out here are that businesses need working capital to grow. Like most of us need an ability to buy something, pay for it, convert that into a particular product, and then sell it. It could be for a lot of entrepreneurs who are in the fashion industry or even in the food business. You need to buy, you know, if you're baking cakes at home, if you got to buy flour, you got to buy icing, you got to buy a whole range of materials, and then you got to convert that into cakes, and then you have a distribution chain through maybe that you can send it. But that takes a certain amount of capital to make it happen because this is not capital that you need to necessarily buy machinery at times. Even that is possible, something that we're looking at. But simple working capital that goes towards helping you transform your raw material into a finished product is where really the financing is required. So if you look at this chart that I told you, the biggest issue that comes in is that all your suppliers want to get paid earlier, and often they don't want to take credit risk on the buyer because the buyer could be a startup, an entrepreneur who's just started their business, and they don't want to provide too much credit or take risk. And as a buyer, you would like to pay later because it takes some time. It might take 5 days, it might take 15 days, it might take 30 days, it might take 60 days to convert the raw material into a product. And then there is some lead time that you have to actually sell it onto the platform. So you'd like to get paid earlier as well. So if you're trying to sell on the platform, you'd like to get paid earlier so that you can take that money and then put it back into the business so that you can actually grow and keep on rotating that capital. So we are trying to solve it from both sides. So we think of the businesses who are sitting in the middle. We want to help you source properly so that you can get the right raw materials and the supplies at the right price and you have a choice. So, which is what the sourcing webinar was all about. But at the same time, we'd also like you to help you sell so that at the time that you're selling, we are also able to help you solve for the problem of, again, a set of customers that you may want to go to or a distribution chain that you may want to work with. So we've got both a Zilingo Trade, which helps you source, and also Zilingo Shopping, which helps you sell, and potentially even connecting you to other platforms, which could be Shopee or Tokopedia, where you could potentially go ahead and sell. And we can also try and create connectivity out there. So fundamentally, the key issue that most MSMEs face is working capital, which is which constricts the growth of business. And that's exactly what we are trying to solve for. Um, often the question is, um, why don't we go to banks, which often are usually the best places where you can go ahead and get financing from. All of us deal with banks. We have personal accounts. We may have credit cards that we already use for purchases. Uh, the key aspect that happens with banks is that they're still only dependent on your financial information. And you will still need to provide your tax records or your bank statements and various other things. It's not that at Zilingo we start off on a basis that you don't need to provide that information. But in a lots of cases, for all our customers that we have worked with, be it in Indonesia, be it in Thailand, be it in India, and we are looking to do that in Philippines as well, is that if you start transacting through your platform, we build a certain level of transaction history, and that could be small amounts, small sums. But once you do that for maybe a couple of months or maybe 3 or 4 months, you build a bit of a track record. And then we use that track record to help you go ahead and extend and help get credit from Zilingo. So the documentation requirements, which often becomes a problem for actually availing a loan, disappears, because what we are saying is that if you're showing enough diligence and stickiness onto the Zilingo trade platform or onto Zilingo shopping platform, we will be able to use that data and provide you with access to credit. Now, the credit could come directly from our own balance sheet at Zilingo or through the various partners that we are trying to work with, who also want to use data and transaction history of our customers who are buying and selling to lend to them. So this is the new age of data analytics and fintech lending, which we are also incorporating onto the Zilingo platform. So if you look at it, on day zero, you may need to provide certain bank statements or maybe a profit and loss projection or a cash flow statement. And we are not uh, very, what do you say, dogmatic or very, very precise saying this is only if you give us this, we will do business. We try and understand your business. We try and understand your needs. Our credit officers try and understand what's your situation. And based on that, we can start off with a small amount. Then over 120 days, you have started doing some business. There's some transaction history and flow. We look at the data points. We also know who you're selling to. And we utilize all of that information to effectively say, okay, you're coming onto the platform. You've been here for 4 months. You've you've shown 3 or 4 cycles of buying and selling. Let's use that information and provide you a loan for a specific amount, which will help you grow your business. And as this continues, you can keep on increasing your cash flow and therefore your business growth. And we'll give you a couple of examples at a later stage through the presentation. Out here, what we are doing is that we will help you get through a couple of products that we have created. One is called the Buy Now, Pay Later product, and also in terms of what we call an advance payout. And a Buy Now, Pay Later product is fundamentally for someone who's actually buying on our platform. What we try and do is that we whitelist all our customers and they say, oh, you've got a certain level of credit history, you've got a certain level of transaction history on our platform, and we will help you extend and we'll give you a loan, a small amount, and you can go ahead and use that to purchase on our platform. And we also try and sort of make it very simple by saying that a lot of the loans that come from banks are based on either you got to make monthly installments or weekly installments. And we have that facility as well, but we also make it flexible by saying you can make a bullet payment as and when you can make a sale. And that's where fundamentally what we have is also for our sellers is that you get an advance payout. So effectively, if you have sold and you're going to be selling on credit, and maybe the money is going to come in 30 days time, as long as we have confidence on the seller and their credibility, we utilize that to give an advance payout for the portion of the money. So assuming that you have gone and sold something for, I don't know, 5,000 pesos, maybe 75% of that funding can come up front because we believe that the seller that you're, or sorry, that your buyer has enough credibility and enough of a risk standing that they will pay us in due course, or maybe they have been also transacting on a platform for a long while. So we are creating this entire supply chain solution where you as the entrepreneur, as a stay at home uh, business entity, can go ahead and get access to capital to help you source better, as at the same time enable to you to convert your sales to cash at a much faster rate. Um, so fundamentally providing bullet payment structures, reducing documentation, and increasing approvals is sort of key to our value proposition that we're talking about. Now, a lot of the questions that come up is it all being done all by Zilingo? Not really. What we are saying is that we are a platform. Like we are a platform for our buyers and sellers to come and access different kind of suppliers who are selling onto the platform, or different kinds of buyers who are trying to access the right seller. We are also creating a platform for a lot of our partners, which are financial services partners across the region. So what we create is small programs. So it is not a one size fit all. So the other thing that we are very focused on, we realize that a requirement for um, an entrepreneur who is effectively looking at the fashion supply chain versus someone who is in the FMCG or into the food supply chain is very, very different. We also realize that the amount of capital that may be required, or or the rates that may be required, are also differ from a business, from a geography standpoint. So we are working with a whole host of partners across the region and creating small programs. They're almost, we call it mass customization of financial services. So if we understand that there is a particular group, like we are talking about today, is, a whole host of mothers who are trying to become business women in and around Metro Manila, we will try and create a small program with maybe one of our partners in Philippines, where we actually map out the characteristics and the profiles uh, of the business persons on the platform. And they could be very different with another set of suppliers or factories or retailers that we are dealing with, physical retailers that we are dealing with. So we'll create that program, and as we understand you better, and therefore ensure that it becomes far more seamless. And then there is consistency of capital. So what we are trying to solve for is, when we had spoken of before, is that you get access to credit, which is the starting point. You get access to credit because you all are transacting on your platform. We ensure that you get access to credit in a timely manner, so as and when you need it. We also trying to ensure that you get continuous access to credit as long as the business is doing well, that it's growing, and even if there are at times a little bit bumps on the way, because no business, um, has a very, very uh, almost a straight line, smooth growth curve. There are always challenges that come in. So the idea is that we work with partners who have access to the capital and are going to be there for the longer term to help you grow your business. So partnerships are key out here. We consider our customers as partners as well, because that is the partner data that enables us to bring in the financial services partners. And we also have our financial services partners who are keen to work with us because they believe that the operating information that we are getting out of the customers enables them to provide credit in a way which regular financial services information of balance sheet, bank statements it limits their ability to work with a larger population. So we are also helping them expand their reach. So if you look at what we have out here is that we've got different kinds of partners. We've got uh, peer-to-peer lending platforms. We've got new age fintech entities like a lending cart or Investry or Quala. We've got partners like Grab. We've got banks like UOB or DBS. So we've got a whole host of different kinds of partners that we're trying to put on board. Um, I will show a video after this, which will help you get a better sense of what I'm talking about. But to give a very quick summary, it is that a buy now pay later is for buyers, which I spoke to you about. It is for domestic purchases. We tailor it to your working capital cycle. Typically, we finance about 75% of your purchase order. So it means that over a period of time, if you started off having $100 of capital, that $100 of capital can become $400 of capital because we are financing 75% of it. Typically, the currency is US dollar or Philippine peso. And similarly, what we try and do is that in a similar way, if you're taking $100 of supplies and converting into $120 of purchases, you can actually go ahead in the same way become, because we are giving you 75% of financing, you can buy $400 worth and sell $500, and you get that financing at both ends, which also includes the profits that you can plow about into your business. I'm going to show a small video right now, so just excuse me for a second where there might be a bit of a disruption, but hopefully it'll be quite smooth. So give me a second out here.
Hi Arnav, sorry I have to step in. You're on mute. And then your video earlier doesn't have audio. So you might want to break up or something. But yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Should I show the video again? Would that help? Or I'll actually just walk it through.
Oh, you can just proceed with your presentation, and we can send them the link for the video if it's
Okay.
available on YouTube.
Okay. Thanks for that.
All right.
Sorry. So I just want to talk about two cases that we had. One was with in Indonesia, which was with our for Miss Fadila. She wanted to. She was making Muslim wear business, Muslim wear sort of headscarves and masks that that she was making out of home. And there was a lot of demand because the designs were great, but she didn't have enough capital to buy the material in terms of for her inventory that she needed to make the products. So she needed about 3 weeks worth of inventory to help her sort of cater to the demand that she was getting. But she was only able to sort of get a week's worth of inventory because that's what our capital allowed. So we gave her a very small sum, sort of close to about 25,000 US dollars, and that helped her tremendously. That she was able to increase her sales by 25% over a 6 month period because of the inventory that she had, because she could then fulfill demand very quickly. Because the biggest challenge that had was that at any point in time when people wanted a particular product, she couldn't go back and say that, hi, I'd come back to you in 2 weeks' time. She needed to have that in place. And we helped her sort of solve for that problem through the credit that we provided to Zilingo Financial Services. The second example was a lady, Noor, which is a company, Ziadian, and it was also a very similar kind of situation again in Indonesia, where you were making fashionable wear for women who wanted to step out, and out here the problem was a bit different because what it wasn't only about inventory. She also needed a little bit more capital because she needed to hire a few people, both a designer and somebody would also enable her to sell online and manage inventory online. And this and again we loaned her a little bit more money, which was more than was closer to about 50,000 US dollars, and which enabled her to hire staff. She employed 4 new staff over a year-long period and enabled her to increase her sales 10 times. But it required a bit of patience for both of these cases, both for Ms. Noor and Azalfaina, was the fact that they were already working with us for a while. They were working with us for close to 3 to 6 months. So we understand what they were trying to do. We understand their product, their requirements, and then we helped them grow. So, and both of them was a combination of both buy now, pay later, as well as the advanced payout structures that we had created. So these are just sort of a couple of examples which I think may be helpful for everyone on this on the stream to understand how Zilingo Financial Services can work. So I will just stop out here. I think I've come to the end of the presentation, and happy to take on any questions that people may have. Hi, Abby.
Muted.
Yes.
Sorry
not
about
sure.
that.
We
I'm
don't
back.
have a
Thank
video.
you, Arnav.
Oh yeah, there you
Thank
go.
you so much,
Go
Arnav.
ahead.
We have a few questions from the audience actually. So yes, so like here we have a question earlier. Is it easy to register with Zilingo? I'm interested with the platform. What if I have no financial statement yet, as mentioned in your requirement for financing, since I'm just starting, but I have a bank account?
Yeah, so I think I can
So it's
answer.
flashed here as well.
Yeah, so I hope everyone can hear me. So it is easy to register with Zilingo. So I think the idea is to get onto Zilingo and start maybe sourcing or selling onto the Zilingo platform. And as I mentioned of those two examples, it typically takes us about anything from 3 months to 6 months to get the transaction history and data in terms of what your business model is, what you're trying to do. And then based on that, given that you already have a bank account, there is a certain amount of credit data that would be available through the public services. There could be an opportunity to extend credit as long as we understand who are the individuals or the businesses that you're sourcing from and who are you selling to. So definitely, it's a possibility.
Okay, thank you for that, Arnab. So there's another question here. So let me just read that. What's a good indicator that a merchant in the Lingo system will qualify for financial assistance? And any tip to get to that point where they can qualify?
Um, I think a good indicator is that number one, we are seeing a consistent level of sales going through, even if it is a small
Mm-hmm.
amount. Uh, there are no sort of. I'm not saying that has to be the exact amount every week or every month, but there is a consistent pattern that's being built up. So there's a bit of a trade history that is coming through. Number one. Number two, that there is very clearly a very there is no relationships that are there between the buyers and the sellers, because one of the key things that we want to ensure that there is an independence of the transactions that is happening. So there's a true discovery of suppliers and a true discovery of buyers that is taking place on the platform. And I think those are the sort of two elements that are there. And the other aspect is to look at, because most of us have some level of credit history already in the system, whether it's our credit card statements or bureau records, or how often we pay our mobile bills, how consistently are we doing that. So I think a track record of payments on uh, in your social environment that you operate in is quite critical as well. So I think these are the three pieces that one should focus on.
All right. Thanks for that, Arnab. Second question. What kind of data will I need to supply? So you were mentioning earlier with your answer that there are social indicators as well. But what are the things what are the kinds of data they need to supply to you? And does the criteria change in terms of the type of merchant? For example, what if the merchant is specializing on slow moving artisan items, or like, one of a kind, but more on the, I guess, more on the expensive or more on the craft side of fashion?
Um, Actually, the data
Mhm.
sets per se don't change so much. It's still a combination of your bank statements plus your
Mhm.
bureau data plus what you've been transacting on the platform. We do understand that the cycles can be different. In certain cases,
Okay.
it is something that you buy every week, and it's a necessity and it's consumed very easily. A lot of the other pieces could be a once in a while purchase and not consistent. So that will have some
Yeah.
level in terms of the amount of credit that can be provided, but the broad data
Mhm.
sets per se don't change. But the profile of the business and how volatile it is, or does it have a if you have a consistent buyer set that is already there, or you're trying to create a different buyer set in a different geography, and that's why it may take a bit more time. So
Mm.
those considerations do come in, but broadly the information that you require is almost the same. It is just how you utilize the information
Yeah.
based on the business model to be a bit different.
Mhm.
Uh, I think there's a question out here. Do you have a referral code? I'm not too sure. I'm going to check on that. It's a good question. But how long does it take to process for financing application? I think typically in most other geographies, as we are putting this together, it could take us about anything between a week to 2 weeks to process this
Okay, so it's
application.
more of really the historical data that they have and the forecast, right? There's another question, and it's a quite funny question. Do you have a referral code, Mr.
No,
Yes. Do you have a referral code?
so I'm not too sure what you mean by a referral code, but I'm happy to check, and maybe if we note down your details, we can pass on that information and take that forward, Abby. But I don't have an answer for that right now. I think there's an associated question: is how long does it take to process
Okay.
a
Thank you for that. Thank you for answering all the questions. I think that's all the questions that we have so far. Thank you as well for the presentation, your insights about the financial services for MSMEs. For sure, it's a huge help, especially at the time.
All right, so I think we lost Abby. Okay, so let me take over. So yeah, Arna, before we let you go, there's a last question here for you. So what kind of
Yeah.
data will I need to supply Zilingo in order to qualify for a program? Does the criteria change based on the type of merchant? Example, merchants who specialize in slow moving or artisan items.
I think, mommy, I answered that question, but I can happy to do it again. So
Mhm.
I think the idea is to get onto the Zilingo platform, start sourcing and either buying or selling from there, and then once that happens, the need for providing external data reduces. So my whole view would be that, come onto the platform, start sourcing, or start selling through it, and then maybe in a period of 3 to 6 months, we can figure out solutions and the right credit to enable you to go ahead and sell onto the platform and
Okay, all
provide
right.
financing out there.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay to answer one more question? I see it in the comment
Sure, sure.
here. For the range of products, is it only for fashion, right? Does it include uh, kids, fashion, accessories, and not just clothing? I believe yes.
I
Go
think
ahead.
so. I think this is a question better answered by Franco or Sheila, maybe separately. If there's an email sent
Uh-huh.
across, you can try and answer that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. Okay. All right. So I guess we're good. Thank you so much, Arnav, for your insights. And yeah, we will let you know if we have more questions and maybe we can invite you again. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks,
Mm-hmm,
Martin. And
mm-hmm.
happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Thank you so much. So yeah, we will have our virtual game. So we will have Arnav to we have to we have uh we have to let you go, Arnav. Thank you so much again. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Thank you. Bye.
Alrighty. Bye. All right. Hello everyone. So thank you so much for joining our e-commerce webinar from product sourcing up to financing. So magkakaroon tayo ulit ng mga e-commerce na webinars sa mga susunod na Sundays, no? Starting um, May 17 and then May 24 and then May 31. So for the whole month ito ng May, this is for our mompreneurs, mga members, so that makapag-explore din kayo sa e-commerce na business, right? So again, thank you so much sa mga nagme-message and nagko-comment pa. Ayan. Can I use mobile phone in registering in the Zilingo platform? I believe yes. Okay. And then Mishai, answered in the comments about the referral code. And she says, we don't have a referral code yet, but we are going to work on the same. Okay. All right. So Yeah, we do have a game for you, so don't leave yet. This is called here. This is called Pictionary game. So I'm sure everyone is familiar with Pictionary game. Okay, there. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so I'll be sending a StreamYard link in the comment section. And then the first one to enter will be the one to draw. Okay, I don't want to draw. Nag-drawing na ako before pero hindi siya ganun kaganda. So let me uh, comment the link here in the comment section. And then you will be getting a free course, no? So dalawa yung winners natin for this game. Yung magda-drawing and then yung makakahula sa audience natin. All right? Okay. So here's the StreamYard link. There. So I'll wait kung sino yung pinakaunang-unang makakapasok para siya yung mag-drawing. All right? And then i-chat ko sa inyo kung ano yung word natin. So dapat yung dapat yung sasali or yung magda-drawing kahit papano magaling mag-drawing. Okay? Sige, we'll see. I commented the StreamYard link. So, click lang kayo. Make sure na may camera kayo or you're working in your laptop or your desktop para makapag-drawing kayo sa Paint. Okay? So, we have here, there. Hello. Mami Andy, I can see your forehead lang. Mami Andy, you're live. Okay, we lost her. So, kung sino yung maunang makakapasok sa StreamYard link natin, siya yung makakakuha ng course and then yung makakahula sa audience, magkakaroon din ng chance to get an e-commerce na course. Okay? So, dalawa yung winners natin for this game. Yung magda-drawing and then makakahula. So, ayan, comment ko ulit yung ating StreamYard link. Sana may makapag-ano na. Mm-hmm. I saw a comment here about, okay, this one. Anyone can tell me the website address? Are we going to register as a seller? Yes. So you can just go to Zilingo. I believe that's zilingo.com. Is that right? Yep. Oh, it's zilingoshopping.com. Okay, so let me copy paste that in the comment here. So that's zilingoshopping.com. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure why you're not seeing my comment, but let me try again. That's weird. Okay, so let me try it again. Okay. There you go. Oh, sorry, wrong link. Okay. There you go. Again. Hi, Abby. You're back. We have a question here. They are like Lazada, right? So can you help us with this one and explain? Oh, you're frozen.
Hi, I'm back. I'm so sorry. It's raining super hard here.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can help us with this question. So they wanted to
Sure.
clarify.
So where are
if
we
it's
now?
like
Are we
Lazada.
on the game?
Yep, we're on the games, but I'm trying to send the link to the comment so that they can join, or you can just draw. Can you draw in paint, Abby, so that we can get started? Can you hear me?
Sorry.
I think. Okay.
Okay.
Can you answer this question, please? If it's like Lazada.
What will I draw on paint? Hold
Yep,
on.
yep. Can you share your screen? This is
Yes.
our word.
Wait, I need to open. I don't have. Where? Okay, what's the question?
The question is,
Zilingo is like Lazada. Is that the
right, right.
question?
That's the question. Uh-huh.
Um, you can see the comment. Oh, so you're asking if Zilingo is like Lazada. Zilingo is much more than Lazada. So they have a shopping marketplace as well. But what Zilingo really, the strength of Zilingo is really on the sourcing side, actually. The sourcing and financial services, creative services. So they do so much more for vendors and suppliers alike. So this is in line, of course, with the fashion industry, and I believe they're also very much support of the sustainable fashion. So this includes, the whole supply chain, not just selling fashion items, but actually, the whole sourcing from raw materials to sewing to everything that happens within the cycle of a garment. So what happens, before a garment goes to your um, closets. There's a lot of things that happen before that. Of course, there are raw materials, there are stores, and then there will be distribution or wholesale and retail distribution, and then there would be branding, photos, production, and then marketing it. So everything, Zilingo covers all of that, and it's all for the sake of the circular fashion, sustainable fashion to and it's worldwide. It's not just in Asia, right? It's really um, in support of the whole fashion industry, really. So yeah, I hope we will all join. I hope some of you can also, especially those who are interested in the fashion or retail industry. I hope you get to try their wholesale and their other services as well.
Mm-hmm. So the link
Yun.
that I mentioned earlier, or that I yeah, is for the
Yeah.
shopping site. This one is for the seller. Sorry about that. So it's sellers.zilingo.com. Okay, so make sure to create an account in there, and yeah. So we will try to send you the links of the videos that we played earlier, as well as the product sourcing video that we also played in our first webinar. So yeah. So are you ready to draw? Abby, did you
To
see
draw.
my
Wait, how do I draw again?
open
Can I draw
your
some? What tool do you use? Do you use Mac?
hmm your paint.
Do I Canva or can I Canva?
No.
Paint?
Let me draw.
Do I have paint?
I'll be the one to draw. It's okay. No worries. Let me share my screen.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have paint yet.
It's okay. Mhm.
Canva nga eh.
Hold on for a sec.
Okay.
Let's see here. Here. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, so yeah, to our audience, please comment your guess. Okay, so we will start I'll start drawing na.
Okay, and then I'll check who answered first correctly.
I think this is. Oh my god! Oh
Give
my
me the
god!
answer.
Oh my god! We do this. Oh my god!
Okay. Hmm. Bulong mo sa akin yung question answer.
Wait. Can you check the comments if they are getting it right?
Yes, yes. So far,
Hard.
I don't think anyone has answered it. No. Okay, someone got it, but Facebook user.
Wait. Let's see. Uh,
There's no name.
it has to be. No, it's close, but I want the exact words that I use. Wait.
Okay, exact.
Yeah, I need the exact.
Okay. Okay, someone got it close.
Yeah, it's super close.
Almost.
Yeah, it's close.
Almost. 2 words.
Wait for a sec. Let me check the comment. It's so close.
Wala pa yung exact. Yeah. 2 words lang. Onti na lang.
It's so close. So close.
Pwede
so
na ba yun?
close.
Ano?
I'm not really sure, but I want my wording.
The exact one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, alam ko na.
Ano yan?
No! Bakit gano'n? Nagulat
Oh,
ako
muntik
na.
na.
No.
2 words lang.
Okay.
Muntik na.
Super close, super close.
Tama na yung sabihin ko ba yung clue?
Meron na tayong winner.
Sabihin ko ba yung clue?
We got a
No?
winner
Okay.
here. Rex Errands, delivery boy. I'm really sorry dun sa mga
Almost there.
Ay,
2 words. 2 words.
si muntika na sana si Mami Regina door-to-door delivery boy. But what we want is delivery boy lang. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Rex Errands. You won an e-commerce course from Filipino home-based moms. Yep.
Saan? Ayun!
Rex Errands. Ayan. Congratulations. So, you
Delivery man.
Yan,
It's boy daw dapat.
Yep. Delivery boy. Super close na. Congratulations. So, yeah, Abby, maybe we can invite them to our next webinars. So, I told them that it's going to be May 17, 24, and 31st. So, yeah. Do you have, can you invite them for the following webinars?
Okay. We'll send the details on the FHMOMS group for the next webinar. But for now, for anyone who has any questions, follow-up questions for Zilingo, you can contact directly Ms. Sheila Mauricio, the head of commercial. You can email her at sheila@zilingo.com. That's SHIELA @zilingo.com, just 1 L. And then, or you can also contact her on her mobile. It's 0917 160 06266. Maybe we can flash this MK as well on the screen. But yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to our speakers, Ms. Sheila Mauricio this afternoon and Mr. Arnab Bhattacharya for this evening. Your insights are really, really helpful during this crisis. We want to help as much MSMEs as we can, and of course, aspiring mompreneurs to jumpstart their retail career or their retail businesses from the comforts of their home. So everything is digital right now, and with the help of Zilingo platform, you can actually do a lot more. So thank you for attending. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. We hope you learned a thing or two from the sessions. And we'd like to thank our partners, of course, Filipina Home-Based Moms, ShopStitch.co, and Zilingo Philippines in making She Rules Retail the special Mother's Day webinar possible. So I'm your host, Abby Victorino, and I hope to meet you the next webinars pa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Zilingo and ShopStitch. Alrighty. See
Back
you next
to you, MK.
Sunday. Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.